Hey there. Second video, my second vlog video. So actually this is take 3 of my second vlog video. So yeah, I'm needing more practice before I commit to maybe doing a live stream in the near future. But hey, I was very surprised with the response that I got on my first vlog. I mean, the view count wasn't astronomical, but I got some really good comments from people who are following already and watching this channel. Gosh, I think I have about 6 things that I think we can definitely talk about today. Oops, I better get my timer going here. All right, so I'm shooting for 15 minutes. I might be able to get it done before that since I've practiced twice already. The first one, I just wanted to get it out of the way, and then I tried a second one. I forgot to plug in my microphone, so yeah, I think I got it plugged in this time. So I thought, that second one, oh man, that audio sounds terrible. And I looked up, yeah, didn't plug in my mic. So anyway, let's go over some of these things I've written down. Really good comments, and I thought this one was classic in that it goes to what I learned early on when I first came into higher education from my years of working in advertising, was that you can't assume that people know how to do something. And the comment was that a lot of the YouTubers and content creators make mention about just simply get your sketch on your paper and go from there, right? Well, that simple statement of sketching it up on your paper is the holdup. So I'll definitely be doing some basic fundamental drawing tutorials as well, making marks and how to use shapes and forms and what whatever it is, a pen or a pencil or a piece of charcoal, what you can do with marks, right? The cool thing about drawing is you're just dealing with value and modeling. You don't have all the hue and all the color stuff. We always laugh up at the school that once you introduce color into the subjects, into the subject of the course, everything just goes off the rails. Color is a train wreck, right? So it takes a lot of work and practice to get accustomed to working with color. So that's definitely going to be a thing that I'll certainly work on and give you some tutorials that you can refer to and practice some of those skills as well. I mean, drawing is a foundation skill that's our first course in the program. So observational drawing, foundation drawing. And a lot of our students may or may not have had art in high school. So we really do. I think you get the average student, if they haven't had art in high school, they come into a program at about a 3rd grade level. So we have to raise them up to a college level skill set pretty quick. So it's a daunting challenge, and I can understand that comment. And I think a nice comment regarding this sketching, and that is I had a viewer comment that they seem to be running before they know how to crawl, and that's definitely a standard problem. I see that all the time with my students, where they are trying to bite off more than they can chew. And my biggest suggestion for that simply is do the simple things. Limit your palette. Knock it back to one color and maybe a shade if you're using black or a Payne's gray, or maybe even a complementary color, so that you're limiting your choices and it gives you something that you are able to control without everything just spiraling out of control. The watercolor isn't rocket science, but it does take a lot of practice. All right, so it's very simple, it's very immediate, and you're going to love it once you get the handle of it. And I always get so frustrated when they say that watercolor is hard, and it's not hard. It's just you got to know and understand the timing of when to do certain things. So definitely work smaller, limit your palette, and paint the ordinary. Do everyday objects. Just get whatever you can see that's handy, set it in front of you, put a light on it, change the light, and just draw. Sketch it up first, practice your drawing with it first, and then move it into a watercolor. Limit your palette and do that until those things start looking good, and then start pushing it out and do more elaborate subject matter. Still lifes are nice because they're simple shapes. You got oranges, you got apples, you got grapes. They're all round, right? They're cylinders. They're spheres, and or cylinders like a banana. It's just kind of a modified cylinder. So get those things and practice doing the still lifes and understanding how the color interacts and everything. And as your skills with color grow, introduce more colors into it. Let's see here. A viewer mentioned about having blank page or white page fever. It's kind of what I always called it. Not knowing what to do. That's because you're thinking it's got to be something good, right? I find it amazing how many of the tips and suggestions I've been watching on YouTube about being a content creator mirror exactly the skill sets and the things you have to do to become a watercolor artist or an artist in general. It takes practice, and you're going to suck when you first start doing it. It's just the way it works. And no matter how many times you see those easy videos, they are easy. I'll make everything look easy because I've done it so many times. And really, ultimately, what it comes down to is my experience doing it, my visual vocabulary and my aesthetics have been developed over time to such a point that I'm confident. And that's really the key thing that you're trying to get to through all this practice. All the frustrations that you're going to face while trying to learn this is you're developing a knowledge base that then gives you confidence that comes through your hand, through that paintbrush, through that pencil, onto the piece of paper. So there's no shortcuts to it. It is a time on task thing that has to happen. You have to spend the time doing it, no matter how many easy videos. I mean, they're good techniques, but there's so many of them that you need to pick one and try it out and maybe master that one, set that one aside, go over and grab another one, see what easy technique that is that you can try and work with, and then maybe combine with the previous one you worked with. That's the process. You're really developing skills and an understanding and a sensitivity and aesthetic, all of these things. It's a compound, complex, critical thinking exercise. I often tell my students, I'm in a public liberal arts institution, and the students have to submit a portfolio at the end of their degree. And one of the key components is give an example of critical thinking that they had in class while here at the university. And I am always telling them to, submit one of their artworks in that area, because especially if it's watercolor, because that is critical thinking on steroids. It's extemporaneous critical thinking, because if you don't make the right decision every step along the way, that it will spiral out of control. So any successful looking watercolor piece, any piece of artwork, is an exercise and an exhibit of critical thinking. So let's look here. I definitely need to do, I think, some additional breakdown videos, not assuming that people are aware of or can do those simple things like simply making a statement. Sketch your subject matter onto your piece of paper. That was one of the comments. I'm hung up there. I don't know how to draw. So definitely we'll be doing some drawing tutorials, and showing my reference is a good topic. I've been very nervous. I got real nervous after, I think I did it on one or two of my first videos, but I got kind of nervous about copyright issues because I was grabbing some imagery from Pinterest that I was using as reference. So that's one reason why I wasn't showing the reference. And I can understand people want to have that reference that I used and maybe grab it, print it out, follow along using it. So I'll definitely reference it, and or maybe I'll see if I can figure out how to maybe link it to the Pinterest board. So definitely I'm trying to avoid copyright issues, is that. let's see here. So something just went through my head and I can't remember it now. Let's see. Yeah, breaking it down, limiting your palette, working smaller, expanding once skills grow. Definitely all good things we can definitely work with. And I think that is pretty much the list of things that I got from this first video. So, if you got anything out of this video, let me know. Give me a like or a subscribe. I'm about 10 minutes in, so I've run out of things to talk about already. Yeah, and I'm trying to look in the camera and make eye contact instead of watch. I'm filming with a front-facing iPad on this one, so I'm testing out all my technology as well still, and working with various things. So trying not to look at myself and look at the camera. So anyway, give me some comments. I'd appreciate it, and thanks for sitting through another vlog post of me trying to grow accustomed to being on camera. So thanks for watching.